good. Hi, welcome to Talk Comics to Me. I'm Champenstein, and it's Thursday.
It is Thursday. It is the 19th. I'm Heather. Oh, wait, it's the 18th.
It's the 19th.
Okay. Rest in peace, our dear friend.
Yes. Yeah, so it's a Thursday. I keep wanting to be like it's Friday.
It feels like Friday for some reason.
Yeah, I don't want to jump ahead a day. But anyway, we're here to talk about comic books.
We're going to talk about them right to your face, too.
Yeah, directly into it. If you can't see us, we're pointing at the screen directly.
You. Okay.
Okay, go ahead, Heather.
You want me to go?
Yeah, if you want to talk about comic books.
Okay. I have A Town Called Terror. This is issue number 2. This is Steve Niles and Simon Kudransky. I believe that's how you say it, Kudransky. Basically, this is just about a man who is kidnapped back to his hometown where his family is. It's a town of literal terror. His dad keeps dying and being brought back to life, and he is called back to, in a way, prepare to take over for the family. But he had left years ago because he didn't want anything to do with wherever he was from. He got married, settled down, was being happy and living his best life. So when he is kidnapped by his dad's people, his wife is just like, the fuck, dude. So she gets the cops involved. They don't know what's going on because this town to outsiders does not exist. Like, you can't get to it anyway. So while he's dealing with being brought back into his family life, his wife is dealing with trying to figure out what happened to him. It's very interesting.
It does sound intriguing, if nothing else.
Yeah, it's I like the idea of it, especially the fact that the dad keeps dying and being brought back, because they don't exactly explain why and like what the purpose of the family is yet. I'm sure they'll get to it, but within the town that he lives in, his siblings are all monsters of some kind. So I don't know if you can see, there's like werewolves and like scary looking people. There's like a glare.
Yeah,
too well,
I can kind of see what you're saying.
Yeah. But they're all creepy dudes. So I like it. I like the story. I am glad that I did stick with it, because I originally was reading it just solely for the art. Like, I love Steve Niles' books. I like the way he writes horror a majority of the time. But I wasn't sure exactly how I felt about this story from the first issue. But with this second issue, it obviously does a good job of explaining more of the background of the characters and stuff and what could potentially be happening. But the art is beautiful.
Right.
And I love it. So yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And I can't remember.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. I'm not sure if it's a limited. I can't remember.
Yeah,
I was assuming that it was going to be, but I honestly don't remember if it said that or if I'm just assuming that it is.
I don't know, maybe it's like a 12 issue or something.
I'll look into it potentially. I have a lot of things from the last few episodes that I have been meaning to look up. And I did look up some of it. So at the end, I'll have a cute little addendum to say or whatever.
Facts and such.
Yes. To clear up some of my confusion that I've had over the last few weeks.
Yeah, okay.
Do you want me to do next one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. This is Slumber. This is issue number 3. This is just about a dream hunter who is going through people's dreams to hunt down I'm going to say demon for lack of a better word. The demon who has been haunting her pretty much her entire life. She is finally able to locate where this demon is, and her whole goal, the reason she became a dream hunter, was to take down this one demon. So she is working inside the mind of a cop who has been having these nightmares, and while she's in his mind, him and her are working together because he's also trying to solve murders that the demon has been causing.
Okay.
So it is like a little detective story, but it's crazy because it's inside of the mind. And this book is so silly and I love it. But this particular issue is what made me love it. Is there's just so much wild stuff that happens in here that is, you know, oh yeah, this is a dream. The cop just keeps getting killed, and when he, like, once you die in a dream, if you're the one who's having the dream, you just open a door and there you are again. So he keeps getting killed and like slamming open the door going like, why are you killing me? Why do you keep doing this? It's just a lot of fun, and the art is really cool for it. In the dream world, it's all like,
yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, like brightly colored and just silly. I really enjoy this, and this is a short series. I do know that. I think it's 5 issues, which I like that because it's just straight to the point. They're hunting this demon, and once it's done, it's done.
Yeah, and you don't need anything else.
Exactly, yeah. I just don't know. I don't know. I mean, they could obviously do like a second part where it's like, hey, this is the new big bad, but I just think that this is all that is needed for this story. So hopefully that's all it'll be.
All right. Okay, so now I have this what's it? Zero, like first second book, history comics, the Stonewall riots, making a stand for LGBTQ rights. It's by Archie Bongiovanni and A. Andrews. Just fairly straightforward. It's a book for young adults for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's
like the way it's written.
Yeah, that's okay. And that's kind of like the nice thing. I know you and I had that conversation about just like, you know, keeping queer history alive and making sure people know about it. And this is just like, you know, part of it. And this is a cool thing that, you know, never existed when we were younger.
Right.
So it's like, I don't know, have that ability for people to have access to that is really cool to me. But yeah, this just talks about the Stonewall riots. 3 young kids go back in time with one of the kids' grandmothers, kind of just like, I don't know, Magic School Bus style. They just like appear back in time and experience Stonewall like as like the riots were beginning, and that's that.
Okay, cool.
I really liked it. I really liked it a lot. I think it was thought it was really interesting.
How's like the art for it?
I liked it. It's the same as like that. It's the same artist as the Easy Guide to Sex and Disability.
Oh, okay. When you said Archie, I was like, wait, I know that name. I bought a bunch of their zines from Silver Sprocket.
Yeah, they are actually the writer.
Oh,
but they are an illustrator as well.
Okay. But that's not the artist who does that book, right? Like Archie just writes it?
Yes.
Okay. That's where I got confused. Okay,
yes.
I
and then A. Andrews does the art.
Okay. That, yes, thank you for clearing that up.
Like, this is confusing.
I know, I got very confused because I was like, I know that name and I know that book and I know that Archie does the art in one of those books. Yes. You know.
Yes. It's the they them pronoun book, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
That they do the art for.
Yes, that makes, because I remember seeing it on the wall at the shop and just putting the pieces together like I do with names.
All right, but yeah, I would really highly suggest this, especially if you know you have a young queer adult in your home.
Does it being like YA, do you think it makes it more accessible to broader audiences?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Like I don't feel like people my age would enjoy it necessarily.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like it is definitely for like, yeah, young people, and then just like other gay people.
Okay, and that makes sense. Yeah. I just know sometimes like when those topics such as those, when they are only done in like adult style books. It's hard, obviously, for younger generation.
Yeah, and that's like the nice thing about that book is that
Okay.
it's, you know, very accessible.
Very good. I love that.
Yes. Okay, are you ready?
Yes. Let's talk more queer.
Oh, I was like, what? Yes. This is I Hate This Place. This is issue number 1, or also Fuck This Place.
Yeah,
However,
I got.
however you want to go about it. It's a book. This is a fun little new horror book by Kyle Starks. And I don't, Heather, can you say that name?
Artem Topolin.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna go too hard with the Y. So but yeah.
Yeah, I would assume it's either Artyom Topolin or just Artem. But yeah, that's a hard one. You got me. You stumped me there.
And Lee Luffridge does the colors. But yeah, this book is like, I had so much fun. I loved the way it looked. I really did love the colors. I thought the story was, it's gonna be chaotic. I think that's the thing I'm gonna have the most fun with. But basically just a couple of people who inherit a farm, and not all is what it seems. They just were going to go there for a year, sell off this cow farm, get the fuck out. But there's like ghosts and shit.
It's a UFO hotspot.
It's just, yeah, it's I'm excited to keep reading it because it's just like, I know it is going to be wild.
It reminds me of like 80s B horror movies.
Yeah.
Which I really enjoyed. But yeah, the colors are fantastic, like especially with the ghosts. Yeah, I just love the way that it looks. There was, I can't find it now, but there was one face in this. Oh, it was the cow. The cow's face.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why it made me laugh so hard, but yes, fantastic first issue. Very strong, very fun.
Somebody asked me like what type of horror this was going to be, and I was like, I think it's just going to be a little bit of everything under the sun, because that's like kind of what he says in his author's notes. But it's just like, I don't know.
It is very much like kind of folky horror, but also supernatural. It'll be fun.
Yeah, that's all we need.
Yeah, that's all we need. This is just a nice, light little romp through horror.
Yeah, I don't need any more serious horror, like, you know, too bloody of horror.
Yeah, no, don't need that at all. Well, hello. She says, look at my butthole.
Yeah, that was the goal here. Okay, so next we have Rain. This is issue number 5. This wraps up the rest of the story, and there are lots of revelations in here. I was really satisfied with the way it wrapped up. I wasn't expecting the ending that we got.
No, not at all, especially with the way that like the first half of the book flows. And then like once there's the reveal, like that, the moments leading up to that big reveal, it was intense.
Yeah.
I don't know. The artist did a really good job of capturing that, especially in the eyes of the characters. Like once she starts spiraling because she's putting the pieces together, it was very good.
Yeah, the art was great. The colors were really wonderful. Yeah, the story was just really well put together. It was just a phenomenal book.
Yeah. And it was only 5 issues, and I would definitely recommend this to pretty much everyone.
Yeah, highly recommend it. Because it's just like weird, and then like also very emotional, and also just like very human. And I feel like it does a better job of like capturing like a lot of those feelings of post-apocalyptic stuff without like being overbearing.
Yeah, and you know, I always talk about how every post-apocalyptic story that I read has like a weird doomsday cult in it of some kind. It was obvious they had one in here, but it wasn't the main part of the story, which I loved. I thought that was, it was just more like background chatter. Like that's it, like, hey, of course these people are here, but this isn't what the story is about. And I love that. She misses me.
Jem jumped up in the window over there, so she was just
God.
gonna stalk across. I gotta hold on. Oh no, Jem is jumping down. Wish I could have gotten a picture of Jem's face for you. Okay, sorry. No more cat talk. Continue.
We're done with the cats. All right, I'm going to talk about my next book. Okay, so this is Thor. It's issue number 25. This is just the part 2 of the Banner of War, which I am not reading. So I did not read this part of the story, but there are 2 other tales within this that, I mean, they're just like, one of them is especially like a classic Thor story. It's got like the Enchantress and stuff in it. And the second one, I don't even remember who writes it. It's just about frost giants and Loki and stuff, but it's Thor. Sorry, what am I trying to say? It is a classic Norse story. It's about Thor's wedding. And if you know about that, then you know, basically Loki convinces Thor to dress up like a woman. And it was like a huge, huge thing. I was not a fan of the art for this one story. That was that one that I was showing you the other day. But I love that story because I think it's just fantastic. So yeah, that's pretty much what this issue was. The first half is the Banner of War, and then there's just 2 other stories in it. So
right. I suppose at least they gave you something else besides the Banner of War.
Yes, I was very pleased with that because I just not only did not, but I absolutely refused to pick up the rest of the Banner of War stuff to read it. So I would have had like 2 Thor issues that I wouldn't even be able to read because I just have no idea what's going on. So yes, I'm very glad that they included 2 other stories for me to enjoy within a Thor issue.
Do you think, like, would you try to read the first part of that?
You know, yeah, I think I might. But the way that it's told is very obviously part of this other story. So I don't think that I would be able to read it without having read like the Banner. What was that one issue called? Just the one. Was that Banner of War?
Yeah, it was a Hulk vs. Thor Banner of War.
Yeah, that. But yeah, it all just flows together like that, which I get, but at the same time, like, why couldn't you have just done like a 3-issue like mini series for that one event? I don't know why Marvel always feels the need to do that. It's fine. Like, I'm
spread it out so much.
Yeah, I'm gonna get Thor anyway, but I don't know. I might try to go back and read it and see like how much sense it makes for me without reading the Hulk part of it or the Hulk versus Thor. But the art was really good in it. Like, look how good this cover is.
Yeah, no, it's like the art in that Banner of War book was really good.
Yeah.
It was just like, it looks really good. I don't care though.
I'm like I said, I'm not gonna read it. I have no desire. I've never really wanted to read any Thor story or Hulk stories, and this isn't gonna make me want to pick it up just because I like Thor, you know. So I don't know. They included other stories, so it was fine. I didn't feel like I wasted money. Okay, so now I have X-Force. This is issue number 28. This is just the X-Force dealing with the fact that the Cerebro helmet is kind of going haywire and killing. And Kid Omega is abusing his telepathic powers because he's kind of losing his mind after him and his girlfriend broke up. And Omega Red is free, and he no longer needs to feed off of like people's blood, but he just keeps doing it anyway because he wants to do it. So it's him also trying to integrate himself into the Krakoa while being who he is. So it's all very interesting still, and I am still enjoying X-Force quite a bit. There's some really funny things that happen in here. Funny for me, I don't know if it was supposed to be funny, but a lot of the faces that they made me laugh really hard. But the whole Kid Omega part was really funny to me because he is just like going inside of his mind and doing crucibles in his head.
Yeah.
What? Anyway, that was X-Force. That's issue number 28.
Okay, so I have this Alvarado's.
I was like, what is that?
That's technically, I read Breakout issue number 2. It is a story about these cubes that are this cube prison that is abducting young adults, teens, and that's it. You don't know really what's happening to them up there. You know, it's kind of just like a prison cube. And so these teens are staging a prison break. That's it. That's what the book is. It's like there's something about it I like because I like the pacing a lot, but I also like it feels like it's I think another problem is it feels like it's dragging on too long, and that doesn't make sense. I think it's like quickly moving, but it's also somehow like I suppose because it's also just like a story that has been told so many times. It's like, okay, I get it. Like something's gonna go haywire, government or another bad guy is gonna be involved. It's like, you know.
Was that the one that you really liked the art for?
Yeah, the art is like really great.
Okay. Because I remember you talking about the first one, but I couldn't remember what exactly about it you liked. And I do remember you saying like the pacing of it and the art.
Yeah, the art and the colors are really, really great, but I just can't dig my heels into it for some reason. Like part of me likes it and the other part of me is just like, eh.
I mean, that's fair. You gave it 2 issues, and I feel like that's very generous considering the first one you just weren't too sure about.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm just reading off the wall, so it's not like it's not a life or death matter. But it's just one of those things where I think it is a fun book, and I would suggest it, but it's just not a book necessarily for me.
Yeah, that's okay. You've got tons of other books that are for you.
Yeah, true. Okay, so let's move on. Next we have Immortal X-Men. This is issue number 2. This is the kind of the inner workings of the Quiet Council. This issue does a lot of focus on Hope, right? Yeah. And kind of her coming into her own within the Quiet Council and making decisions, extreme decisions.
Yeah. Slaying kaiju and stuff, you know, like that's literally all it is. Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot more. There's like
there's more that goes on in there, but when it comes to like Hope and how she is dealing with her new position, that's what I meant. Like that's all it is. There's a lot of other pieces moving in here. Obviously, it's one of those kind of books, but we're just seeing how everyone works together.
Yeah, kind of. Okay. So next we have X-Men Red. This is also issue number 2. This is the formation of a group of X-Men on Mars. And there's one X-Men Red team formed by Abigail Brand. I don't know why I'm having a hard time today. And then another Brotherhood of Mutants formed by Storm and Magneto and some of the Araco mutants. And it's kind of them coming to a head of, you know, these people don't need to necessarily be saved in these very traditional colonistic sort of ways.
Yeah, I like that whole aspect of it where one of them is trying to take over and control and lead the planet, and the others are like, no, there are no leaders, we all exist here together.
Yeah.
I think that's very what is the word I'm looking for, enlightening, kind of like seeing how they work together on that planet and realizing that it's very much based on real life.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I really like this book a lot. I really like Immortal X-Men. I'm really interested to see like how those books like continue going.
Yeah, we're suckers and fell for the X-Men Red, so here we
Yeah,
are.
fell for both of them, but
I know
it's
it's
fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
It's not, at some point they'll be bad, and then you just be like, see ya.
I was doing so good with like taking stuff like X books off my pull, especially like I don't have Marauders now. I took that off. I'm done with that. And I did take Wolverine off, did that. But now I've got Immortal. I've got X-Men Red. I got Knights of X. I got Legions of X, which comes out with next week. Like it's non-stop. Every time I take one off, 4 pop up in its place. It's driving me crazy.
That's amazing. I have this one last X book to talk about. This other Alvarado's receipt.
This is my Abelardus receipt.
But it's just a stand-in for comic books. I read New Mutants issue number 25 off the wall because they were like, start here. And I've been hopping it on and off that book, and I can't afford to keep doing it, and I don't want to do it. So I just read it off the wall, but it was really good. I do want to say it was actually like, I really, really liked it a lot. Basically just Magic giving up the reins of Hell to, or Limbo to Madeline Pryor, and her teammates Magic's teammates kind of being very leery of that. Stuff kind of goes awry, and then that's that. There's like a really cool aspect of the story where there's like kind of like storybook pages telling like somewhat of the story that's kind of happening. And then there is like a flashback that is like in a very different style of art, kind of reminiscent of like, I guess that whenever that book came out, New Mutants, whenever that storyline was. So like the late 80s, early 90s. I don't know. Don't quote me. I don't know this stuff.
Yeah.
I'm no X-Men expert. But it was just like in a really cool style, and it was just like kind of showing Magic in this library and like the story that she was reading. So that was a really nice little tie together.
Are you going to read number 26?
If we get enough copies, and I can read it off the wall, yeah.
Okay.
It's like tempting. It is tempting to order it, but I have a very large full file right now, and I can't really afford to buy any more books. So I gotta make choices, and that's the choice I'm making.
Okay, I think that's very noble of you.
You're falling on my sword.
You're very strong. All right, I'm going to talk about this book. I am going to say, if you are under the age of 18, look away, because this cover is very naughty. We just didn't, the main covers were damaged, or just didn't.
They're damaged.
They were damaged. Okay, so all I have is the Krasenka erotic variant. So I'm going to give you a count of 3. Backwards. 3, 2, 1. Okay, this is Faithless. This is series 3. It's issue number 4, so it's coming to an end. We got 2 more left. Basically, Faith, as I've mentioned, discovered at one point during her year of solitude, she discovered that she had given birth to a baby, and the baby happened to be Lewis, who is, in this story, for all intents and purposes, he is the devil. So this is her trying to outsmart him so that she can not only get her baby back, but she can live her life without anything to do with like what she's been dealing with the last few series. But this issue takes kind of a weird dramatic turn, I guess. Like it involves the brutal death of one of her friends, and like when she wakes up, because she can only go to hell or whatever with Lewis when she's like in a sleep state. So when she wakes up, that's when she realizes that like the food that she ate while she was in hell was actually her friend. Like, it's pretty fucked up. And like I had to go back and like read it again because I was like, did I miss something? But no, I was reading it correctly. That's exactly what happened. So 2 issues left, and then I'm finally fucking done with this, and I can sleep well at night knowing that I completed this whole series.
Yeah, I feel like this last part has just been like the most fucked up out of all of it.
Yeah, it's been, and you know, that kind of stuff doesn't like, it doesn't make me wary at all, but it's been making me a little bit uncomfortable with the weird turns that they've taken on it. And like, I'm a pretty gross person, but like I don't want to see half of the stuff that I have to see when I'm reading this, because I enjoyed the story. Like, I think the story is really cool, and it has a lot to do with, you know, like right and wrong and the things that you would give up to achieve your dream, like that kind of stuff. I like the idea behind it, but there's just a lot of stuff in there where I'm like, dude, I'm just a little girl, I can't handle this. So yeah, 2 more issues, and then I'm done. And then if they, I swear to God, if they bring out another one, I depending on who does the variants, like I can't do it. I can't. I might get the variants, but I will not read anymore. I just cannot do it.
Yeah, that's fair. I feel like 3 does seem like, you know, it's trilogy, it's concluded.
Yeah, and there's been this, it would make 18 issues, which I think is just
it's enough
more than I needed for this story.
All right. You're done with your
yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I have Elektra. This is Black, White, and Blood. This is issue number 4. I've actually been getting all of these. This is, I think, the first one I actually read.
Okay. You read the first one because I have it. I actually found it when I was organizing my comics, and I remember you saying or telling me about it. But yes, anyway.
Yeah, so I must have read the first one, and then I read the 4th one.
Okay.
Haven't read anything between, but yeah, just like all the rest of those Black, White, and Blood series, just a few different stories about Elektra, all told in black, white, and red. These stories, one's by Matthew Rosenberg and then Alberto Albuquerque. Sorry, dude, if I messed up your name. Sorry. And then Proto Bunkers Fares Fuentes Suho is the color artist. And then there's a story by Peach Momoko, and then a story by Kevin Eastman and Freddie Williams. So they were all, I don't know, enjoyable. Just, you know, that's what the book is.
Just little short stories.
Little short stories, little anthology. So
very good.
If you like Elektra, then you probably would like that.
That makes sense. And those have all been really good for the most part. Like the characters they've all chosen to do those series for, like, quite enjoyable.
I was saying, I don't think, I mean, I guess I didn't really, well, I bought that one Deadpool one, so.
Oh yeah, because who did it? The story?
Daniel Warren Johnson.
That's right, yeah.
Okay, so ready?
Yeah.
Next we have House of Slaughter. This is issue number 6. So this is the beginning of a new story arc. The creative team is different on this book than the first 5 issues. I cannot find where their names are. Oh, it's on the back. So it's Sam Johns and Lazita Catanese.
Where's, oh, there it is.
Okay. In the very back.
Letitia Catanici. You were right on that.
I did all right.
Yeah.
We did fine.
Yeah.
And then you just do the colorist then.
Francesca Segala.
But yeah, this book was, I really liked it. I like that they're exploring the different masks within the House of Slaughter, and I really like that they're exploring different people. This does take place after Erica goes AWOL. So this is kind of like within the current time frame. And I am very excited to see what happens. Kind of follows like it follows the Scarlet Mass, which are kind of like your librarians or your keepers of knowledge.
Okay, that's good to know because like I said, I only got like a few pages into this one, but I did notice that, is it next week Something is Killing the Children comes out?
Maybe, yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because I was confused by the timing. Do you think that these two are gonna run concurrent?
I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know. It was just a weird thought that I just had because you mentioned it was the same time period that the current storyline is going. So I was
I'm just not sure like when
right.
they're both going right now.
Okay.
So
I guess we'll see.
yeah, I would say we will find out.
Okay.
So now we have New Masters. This is issue number 4. This is kind of like a lot of stuff's happening now.
Yeah, so basically the heist, it went off without a hitch, but now that they have the thing, a lot of stuff is falling apart.
Yeah.
The group has been separated. The data that they were supposed to take is now in the arms of sorry, I thought I was very clever with that.
That was good. It was a good pun.
Yeah. Being held onto by the daughter of the two main characters in this. Well, I guess the daughter is probably the main character too. But anyway, she has the information that the bad guys need, and so they're coming after her.
Yeah.
I love this book. I especially like this issue. I thought it was really cool. It was very fast paced.
I would say, a lot of stuff happens really quickly.
It's just a really solid story. I didn't know how I was going to enjoy the story as a whole after reading that first issue because it was so confusing. But I think, I don't know, they did a really good job building this world within the 4 issues that they've had.
Yeah, no, I really like it. And I really like you can tell who's who and what's happening. Yeah, just like so much does happen in 4 issues. Like a lot.
And I like the fact that it was like supposed to be read as if you said that they were video game creators. Is that what the whole thing was? Okay, and it definitely reads like that too, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying for sure.
It's just a very solid story. Okay, I have, let's see this title, it's a mouthful. Critical Role, Vox Machina Origins Series 3, issue number 6. This is the last issue of Series 3. Pretty much Vax and Vex are hired by their father to find someone who's missing within his people. And that's honestly pretty much it. They don't get along with their dad at all, and they haven't seen him in a long time. So when they finally like run into him and he asks for their help, they discover that they have a new stepmom and they have a new sibling, and it's weird for them, obviously.
Yeah.
But there is going to be another series. Apparently there's going to be a series 4, and I'm obviously going to take place directly after this because this ends on a cliffhanger. Yeah. For fans of Critical Role.
Okay, all right. And you still like it though?
Yeah, I do. It's like, it's oddly entertaining, especially because like the series that I got into Critical Role with was The Mighty Nine, which has nothing to do with these people at all. This was like the first series that Critical Role did, and I was not as familiar with the characters when I started this because I'd only listened to like a few episodes of it. So going through and listening to the entire Vox Machina part of Critical Role while reading this was a lot of fun.
Okay.
So I do like it. And I mean, there's that cartoon that's out now. That's what kind of Kursalov was like, yeah, I kind of want to like read this and see what it's about. And so I think the cartoon must do a good job of explaining like what it is, because he knew obviously who they were and stuff. So I don't know, if you don't want to listen to all of the episodes of the podcast, then I would say you could read these and watch the cartoon and you'd be good.
Okay. All right. Well, on that note, I have Alice Ever After. This is issue number 2. This is a book by Dan Pan. I always say this last name wrong, so I'm just gonna say Panosian,
Panosian,
Panosian.
maybe, I don't know. That's what it sounds like in my head.
Giorgio Spalletta and Fabiana Muscolo. This book's a lot of fun. I don't know if fun's the right word. I really like it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because fun isn't the right word. Alice has been put into a mental hospital by her family, who basically just are done with her drug addiction and all of her problems. And this mental hospital is not good. But all of the characters, look like characters from Alice in Wonderland. And so that's kind of what's going on here. I really love the art and the colors, like, a ton. I think the story is really interesting. I'm intrigued to see like what happens and where it goes, because I mean, obviously she's gonna have to escape this place.
That's a really interesting twist on that story.
Yeah, I really like the idea, and I wasn't sure. I think I just like automatically added it to my pull file, but I still wasn't sure like if it would be good, just because like the solicit wasn't very like good in my personal opinion in describing like what the book was about, because it kind of made it feel more like a sexy thing, I guess, like a weird like sexy tale.
Right. And I remember not wanting to read it because of how the solicit read. So,
Yeah.
and I don't even remember what it said, but it must have like grossed me out.
Yeah, because I do remember that just being really off-putting, but just being like, well, I still want to try it out. Yeah. And I am glad I gave it a chance, because I do really like it, and I really like the art a lot.
It's very enjoyable.
It is very enjoyable.
Well, good. Sorry. I'm glad that you are enjoying that quite a bit.
Sorry for rubbing my eyes.
Don't apologize for that. The pollen count is so high today.
And, we can't close any of our windows.
Right. No, I can't imagine. I'm disappointed that we weren't able to record together tonight, but I am also glad in that sense, because my allergies are terrible today. I probably would have been crying over there.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay.
So next we have Batman Superman World's Finest. This is issue number 3, and all of the little teams. So Batman, Superman, Robin, Supergirl, and then the Doom Patrol are kind of off on their own little separate adventures, trying to figure out stuff about the devil Nezha.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving pieces to this.
Yeah, it's just it's really fun. I really like this a lot. I really do think the art and the colors and like even the like letters really do a great job of like pulling the story together and the book together. It like reminds me a lot of watching like the Justice League cartoon.
I can see that.
Or like something like that, but it's just like it looks so much better than that. And I have no dislike for the art in any of those, but I have a lot of fun with this book. I'm really glad I picked it up, and I have a lot of fun with it.
I am going to show you my favorite panel from this, because, and you will never hear me say anything bad about Dan Mora ever. And if you ever do, I've probably been possessed by something evil. But I just need everyone, whoever watches these videos, to just look at that. Impeccable. That's the best panel I've ever seen of Batman in so long. He's just standing in the air. I love it.
As Superman just carries him by the armpits.
It's brilliant. His stance it just kills me every time. Like, I finished reading that and set it back down, and then went like 10 minutes later by to pick it up just to look at it again, because I love it so much.
Yeah.
Anyway, magnificent book. I absolutely love it.
I mean, and I love like the way Steve Lieber draws Superman. Like that's what he's one of my favorites. But there's one panel in here that like it's just like Dan Mora is just like so fucking good. It's stupid.
No one should be that good at drawing.
Yeah, that is true. It seems like should be illegal. Yeah, it's on the same page. It's the one where he like where his face is just like so good.
He just looks so pleased.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love this book. And I can say that I like it not just because of the art and the colors, because we love Dan Mora, we love Tamara, but like the story is actually compelling too. Like I'm very interested in this, and I have never read a Superman story. And I just wanted to read this. Like it's very interesting. I enjoy it quite a bit.
And so here we are. We're reading Superman story now.
Here we are. I got Batman. I got Superman. Give them to me.
All right. So next then we have Batman the Knight. This is issue number 5 of 10. So we're like halfway through here.
For some reason, I thought it was still issue number 4. This is number 5.
5. Bruce and Anton are finding another mentor, and this mentor is helping them with disguises or magic, as Bruce likes to call it.
Yeah, going undercover.
Yeah, that's it. Just a young Bruce Wayne figuring out how to become Batman.
It's another chapter in the Bruce Wayne book of deeds.
It's not a bad story. Like we talked earlier, just a story that's been told. It's there.
We know it. Yeah, it's just more of the intricacies. How do you say that word? Intricacies?
I think you're trying to like put 2 words together.
I know, and I know what word. I know how to spell it. Anywheres. Anyway, it's more detailed background on every aspect of the Batman history, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just a Batman story.
Also true.
Yes.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
All right, so lastly, we have Eternals. This is issue number 12. This finishes up Kieran and Asad Rubik's run. I like the conclusion a lot. I really like the lead-in into what will be Judgment Day.
Yeah.
It does make me intrigued of that storyline, which I wasn't really before.
Are you getting it?
Yes.
Okay, I was gonna say if I am, so if you weren't, then you can just borrow mine if you are interested enough to read it, because I am, because the whole idea of it is so interesting to me. And yeah, the ending to this one, like the last few pages, I set it down and was like,
yeah, no,
story. That was a good fucking story.
Yeah, no, it really was. It like ended on a really interesting note, and it just did such a good job of being like, okay, this is where it's gonna go, which is why I mean, I had already ordered issues number 1 and 2 of the story, so I was probably gonna do it, but now I'm like, I will fully read the story. I know I was gonna read the X-Men tie-in. I think that's the only other tie-in, right? It's just like the main series and then the X-Men tie-in.
Yeah, well, the Avengers, X-Men, Eternals.
Yeah, so the main Judgment Day.
Yeah.
And then there's like an X-Men one.
Oh yeah, no, I get. Yes, that is exactly it.
So yeah, I will now read this Judgment Day previews from Free Comic Book Day and feel okay about myself.
Good. That one was really good. I probably should have waited until after I read Eternals, though. I feel like it would have made more sense.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't know.
No, I know. It was like a free comic.
I mean, I guess kind of know, but not really.
I didn't know that it. I mean, okay, yeah. I should have put 2 and 2 together about it, but I didn't. I got way too excited about a free comic. So
yeah, the series was like really dense, really interesting. I don't think you necessarily like this is the first Eternals story I've ever read. So
yeah.
your familiarity with the Eternals does not have to be there. I do think like, yeah, reading it in trade would just be so much better just because you get all of that stuff more at once, which like, you know, waiting month to month was rough at points with that.
Right.
Or I feel like at some points it was a little over a month.
Yeah, and like you said, it is very dense, and that was not an issue necessarily at all. And yeah, for having not read any Eternals before, like Kieran does a really good job of like keeping you interested in the story,
And
despite
gives
how
like,
dense it is. Yeah.
yeah, and introducing you to like who these characters are and like
Yeah.
what the meaning of them are.
Yeah. It was
So,
really good.
yeah.
It's kind of how, like, when I finished this, it was exactly how I felt after reading Invaders, where I was just like, okay, that was a really cool story. Like, I really like that.
Yeah, I agree with that. But yeah, that's all I have to say.
That's all we got.
That's all we got. We're done. We did it. Heather, what was your extra information?
Thank you for reminding me. Allow me to give you a quick run through.
Blow my mind, baby.
Okay, so last week I was confused about Norse mythology because I was getting my myths mixed up. So the one that they told in the Norse mythology issue, where at the end Loki's 2 kids kind of go crazy, kill each other type thing. One of them turns into a wolf and kills them. I kept getting mixed up because Loki also has another son that is a wolf.
Yes.
Which is, yeah, where my confusion kept coming in, because within that series, Angrboda was not mentioned at all, which was a crucial point in Loki's life and why he ended up acting the way that he did in that issue. Because the way that they made it seem in there was just like he was bored, had a little bit to drink, and he was just going to be a dick. Okay, he does do that, but that wasn't the case in that. But yeah, he now has 2 kids that are wolves. One of them was turned there magically to kill the other one, and the other one was just born that way. So that's where my confusion was. That was it. That's all I wanted to explain, was they did not, I don't know. That was it. I was just mixed up because of all the wolves. That was it. I went through like 4 or 5 of my Norse mythology books, like, why am I getting this mixed up? Because I know that story. Like, I know that his kids one of them kills the other one in front of him. Like, that was a whole thing. But why do I keep thinking that one of them was Fenrir? And it was just because of that whole thing. That's all.
All right. Well, then that's all we got for this week. So go support your local comic book shops, support your local libraries, take care of each other, do good things. Thank you for listening to us, Heather.
Be careful in this heat. Like, it is getting really hot outside. Just again, but take care of yourself. Just pay attention, know your limits.
I mean, the temperature is actually about to drop again this weekend.
Okay,
it's supposed to be like
this 30 in a few weeks when it's back up to 100 with the humidity at like 150. But anyway, just take care of other people and yeah, look after yourselves.
So we love you. Thank you as always, and we'll see you on the flip flop.
Yes. Goodbye.
Goodbye.